Right, so the dust has now settled on not only the fight, but hopefully Mike Tyson's career in boxing, which for me, by the way, ended in 2005 rather than 2024, because I, as well as a lot of you lot, am choosing to just erase Friday night's boxing match, if you want to call it that, from my memory. But we have now heard from the man himself, Iron Mike Tyson, and from the tweet he put out, if this is true, this is so concerning, man. Because yesterday, Mike Tyson tweeted, "This is one of those situations where you lost, but still won. I'm grateful for last night. No regrets to get in the ring one last time. I almost died in June, had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood and 25 pounds in hospital, and had to fight to get healthy to fight, so I won. To have my children see me stand toe-to-toe and finish 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed-out Dallas Cowboys stadium is an experience that no man has the right to ask for. Thank you." Now, a lot of you may know that this fight was originally set to take place on July 20th, but it was postponed, and at the time, we were told that it was postponed because of an ulcer flare-up that Mike Tyson had. Now, stomach ulcers can be dangerous, but they're not usually dangerous. But I suppose, like all things in life, really, it usually depends on your age, doesn't it? Like, let's be honest, most elderly people, right, and I'm not talking Mike Tyson at 58, I'm talking 85 years plus or whatever, they can pretty much be taken out by the flu, can't they? They get it, it turns into pneumonia, and that's how a lot of them will pass away. But what I'm getting at is any type of medical complication is more serious the older that you get. So, say for example, Mike Tyson had had to postpone the fight because of a strain or a sprain or a broken hand, a broken nose, anything like that. You can sort of go, okay, yeah, it's not ideal, but you can move on from it. The wheel's already in motion. And that's not me saying, by the way, that I support it. I'm just saying I could kind of understand that. But from what Mike Tyson has tweeted, it's none of the above. And if Mike Tyson nearly died in June just to get in there and fight in November, some serious questions need to be asked here. The first of which being, who knew about this and who the fuck let this happen? Because people, remember, I literally fight in this influencer space. I box on Misfits, and trust me, people talk, people know stuff, and it is such a stretch of the imagination to say that just Mike Tyson, his close family, and the doctors that treated him would have known about this situation if it is true. That is not the case. Not only these guys would have known that Mike Tyson nearly died 4 months before this fight took place. I mean, mate, the whole fucking world knew that something wasn't right, didn't we? We saw the footage and the pictures of him getting wheelchaired through the airport after the incident happened with the ulcer flare-up on the aeroplane. And I know what some people are saying, and that would be that, oh, well, you know, Mike Tyson was happy to get in there and take the risk in order to earn the millions, and that's all well and good, but fighters need saving from themselves. Look at Danny Williams, a man who beat Mike Tyson in 2004. He fought as recently as last year, meaning that he has boxed consistently for 20 odd years after that Tyson fight, being stopped 15 odd times in the process. One of my favourite fighters of all time, Roy Jones Jr., lost 10 years ago at the age of 45 to Enzo Macronelli, being stopped in 4 rounds, and then he continued to box on professionally for another 7 years after that. That's the same Roy Jones, by the way, that fought Mike Tyson in the exhibition 4 years ago, and even then I was concerned for both men's health. Evander Holyfield will go down as one of the greatest of all time, but one of the greatest of all time he wasn't at 58 years old when he got in a ring and was stopped in 1 round by Vitor Belfort. When are we going to realise that enough is enough before people get seriously hurt here? Because if young, fit, healthy, active fighters like Pritchard Colomb, Nick Blackwell, Patrick Day, God rest his soul, can be either seriously hurt or can even pass away through boxing, then believe me, old men definitely can. And 58 years old is not old in life. but it's old in boxing, man. My dad's nearly 10 years older than that, and I don't consider him as an old man. But fuck me, I wouldn't want to see him on the pads. I wouldn't want to see him get in a ring and spar, and I definitely wouldn't want to see him have a professional fight. This is a young man's game. And the irony is, right, if what Mike Tyson's saying is true, then you'd have expected him to have gone in there and gone out in the same way that Evander Holyfield did in that fight against Belfort. And the fact that he didn't is actually just commendable, isn't it? But whether you believe the theory or not that Jake Paul was holding back on Mike Tyson, he could have knocked him out and he could have hit him with more shots, he could have hurt him if he wanted to. Jake Paul still got in the ring with Mike Tyson. He still hit Mike Tyson with multiple power shots at the age of 58 years old. And he still did so even once seeing that Mike Tyson was hurt. So, okay, brilliant. Even if he didn't put his pedal to the metal, what does it really matter? He still got in there and boxed him. But for a Mike Tyson that potentially got that ill and lost 25 pounds just a matter of months before that, he should have just never been in there. And it's no secret, is it, that Mike went broke earlier on in his career. I think he filed for bankruptcy in around 2003, and I'm not saying that he entered that Jake Paul fight broke. He was probably far from it, but let's really deep it and call it for what it is here. Mike Tyson went into that ring understanding the risks and knowing that he could potentially die in the ring in order to secure the financial future of his children and his grandchildren and family members that would come after that. And I don't know, fuck me, man. That's just a horrible thought, innit? And the question that people will really want to know is one that I can't answer, right? And that is, if this is true what Mike Tyson's saying, did Jake Paul know about this? Because if Jake Paul knew, if his management knew, if anyone there in Team Paul knew about Mike Tyson's medical condition and how bad it apparently was, if what Mike Tyson's saying is true, and they were still willing to go ahead with the fight as they did, then I've got to call it for what it is, man. No amount of money on the line would have me willing to do that. And I know that the Mike Perry fight apparently bombed. The numbers were apparently really, really bad for it. And I understand that then desperate times can cause for desperate measures. And all of a sudden you could be thinking, right, we need a massive money fight here. But there's the fight with KSI, man. You could have got that one on. It might have took you a little bit longer to potentially negotiate it. But there's a shitload of money there. And I'm sure you're doing all right in the meantime. But to even think about getting Iron Mike Tyson in a ring, I don't know. If all of this is true, it's just wrong. It's not even wrong, man. It's psycho. It's evil. And for that reason, I pray to God and choose to believe that Jake Paul and his team did not know about this and definitely did not know about the severity of Mike Tyson's health conditions. I have no evidence that they did, and I'm not even saying I'm suspicious that they did. Mike Tyson may well have known about the payday on the line and therefore kept this as close to him as possible in order to not have the fight called off. So I'm not putting any blame on Jake Paul or Jake Paul's team here, but I'm just saying, fuck me, man, this situation just is not good, is it? But there was one good thing to come out of Mike Tyson's statement, and that was the fact that he said one last time. And let's really, really hope it is one last time and we don't see Mike Tyson back in there, because so many men have lost their livelihoods and in some cases even their lives trying to achieve just a fraction of what Iron Mike Tyson achieved in his career. And for those of you who did possibly know if this situation is true, and remember, I'm saying if it was true, and if you knew, if you were part of Mike Tyson's training setup potentially and you were potentially going to benefit from the money, from the payday, and you allowed this to go ahead, then I've got to call it for what it is. You're an absolute piece of shit. I'm going to give Jake Paul the benefit of the doubt here because it is an awful tag to put on someone if they were unaware of this situation. But regardless of a medical situation, what Jake was aware of is Mike Tyson's age and the fact that he had prior health conditions. So the cash grab is now done. It's over. Your kids, your children's children, everyone in your family is financially secure for life now, and they will all live great, worry-free lives when it comes to their finances. So that is it done now. For the sake of the sport, never ever let this happen again. People, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I will see you all in the next one.